So today I'm going to try to answer a question that many investors ask me about, and they say, Doron, what's the difference between investing in a multifamily rental project development versus a condo building that is for sale building? So apartment building, a rental building, basically we're going to build 200 units, and every unit is going to rent at such and such, $2,000 a unit, 12 months. This is the expenses we're going to have in the building: property tax, insurance, management, etc. We're left with a certain income, which is called our net operating income. And based on that, the bank is going to finance our project. They're going to say, yes, the numbers are good enough, the numbers are not good enough, but let's say they're good enough. Your project is $100 million. We'll give you 70% of that in financing. So they're basically financing your project based on projection, Excel pro forma projections. They have to be accurate, they check it, they underwrite it, but it's based on numbers because rent is relatively stable. I mean, the rent can go up or down a few $100s, but there's always going to be a market for rent. So it's considered a stable, safe market. And the returns, could be anywhere from 150% to 250% return for the investors. And the investors have to be 30% of the 100 million, 30 equity investment into the project. The condo market, on the other hand, you're building a project, you're speccing that you're going to be able to build a project and sell it to potential buyers, and you're not sure whether you're going to do it or not do it. So you write a plan, you create marketing plans, you create a sample unit, you do all the work, spend a lot of money on that, and you try to sell. You got to get some pre-sales, so you try to sell the building before you start the construction. The bank is not going to give you $1 financing until you sold at least 50% of your units. So while you're selling this 50% of your units, you might be spending millions of dollars on marketing, etc., and plans, and you're not sure the project even goes. You bought the land, now you spend the marketing, you're not even sure, or the plan, the architectural plans, you're not even sure the plan is, you're going to be able to do it. However, once you reach the 50% sales and the bank gives you the financing to complete the project, you can also use the deposits that you got from your buyers. So you have a loan from the bank and you have the 50% deposit. If you're buying a condo for $1 million, that buyer has to put with you about $500,000 deposit within the time you're building the project. So you can use that $500,000 to finance your project. So what happens is the amount of equity that you have to bring to the deal is much, much smaller. It could be only 10% or 5% versus the 30% on a $100 million project. Maybe you're bringing $6 million, that's all. Maybe $10 million instead of $30 million. So your return afterwards, because the amount of equity is so small, your return is much higher. You probably make 300% or 350% on your return, but the risk is bigger. Because while an apartment building is pretty safe and there's always going to be a market for condos, it's very volatile. The market, it could be a recession, interest rate go up, people don't get mortgages, etc. It's much harder. So the risk is bigger, the return is bigger. In this market right now, there's kind of stagnation with the rental buildings. There's a lot of supply in the market. The interest rates are very high, so it's very difficult to get them penciled in. But condo markets are still doing very good, especially in Miami, especially because there's a lot of people from California and New York still moving to live here, and they're buying condos from $2 million and above, selling their houses in New York that start at $2 million or LA, and moving here to Florida. So they have money, they have cash, they're not even dependent on mortgages, and they're still buying. So you see condo buildings are booming right now. Even though there's a little slowdown, they're still booming. Apartment buildings are kind of in a slowdown or complete stagnation right now.